Alright, so we're 3 days out from the game, 4 days out from the game, and we're just doing a recovery session in the gym, so nothing major. And this is basically just to kind of, help us relaxing your nervous system, relaxing your musculoskeletal system, bit of a stretch, nothing major, some myofascial stuff, if you even want to call it myofascial stuff. So it is Wednesday, Thursday. This is what I'll be doing for those 2 days. Now, I'm going to be honest, I actually didn't really do too much of this stuff because my mobility is where I want it to be, and I am not the biggest fan of foam rolling. But I'm going to talk you through some mobility work, and I'm also going to talk you through some foam rolling work and what you should be looking out for, where you should be trying to get yourself, and maybe which has to take most priority, or which I would recommend you prioritize. So what we like to do here at the gym is give people something to aim towards. So lower limb wise, we're going to have 4 in particular we're going to concentrate on, and I'm going to talk you through those 4 flexibility movements, and that will give you an idea as to how far away you are from adequate flexibility, and it'll also give you a goal to work towards. In terms of foam rolling then, I don't believe in foam rolling. If you are foam rolling, I would recommend you do it for 5 minutes maximum. Foam rolling should never be prioritized over resistance training or over stretches. So I will talk you through foam rolling a little bit, but I don't do any foam rolling, so just take that with a pinch of salt. So the first couple of stretches here, I actually totally messed it up because the camera is totally out of focus, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly talk you through what I'm doing. The first one is a deep squat. Literally, you need to be able to stand feet shoulder width apart, squat all the way down to the floor with your heels on the floor, and get comfortable, okay? You have to be comfortable down there. We've lost our ability to do this because of the use of the chair. We're never in this position ever. So feet shoulder width apart, toes pointing out, squat down as low as you can, elbows inside your knees, put your palms together and force your knees out to the side. That's going to bring an extra stretch on the grind. If you can't get down here, it's most likely you got to do with your ankle range of motion or your hip range of motion. Progress on from there, then you actually want to be able to do an overhead squat, and that would include holding a dowel overhead with your arms extended overhead, squatting down and having that dowel over the middle of your foot. That's where you want to get to. How do you get there? Just practice squatting to depth, hold that position down there, and trust me, it's going to do you the world of good. With the hamstring mobility, you want to line up against the corner of a wall, or you want to line up against a door frame, one leg vertical up against the wall, and then you're dropping the other leg down. When you can get into this position comfortably with both legs straight, you've got adequate hamstring length. From there, you can do drops where you go up and down for repetitions, or you can just do holds where you hold that bottom leg at the bottom. You may have to start a little bit out from the wall and with a slight bend in the upright knee, but that's okay. You know where you need to get to. Alright, so the next one is hip flexor mobility. So we want to set up in this position here, toe right against the wall, knee right up against the wall, leg out in front. From here we want to get into an upright position, arse and heels together, pushing that hip forward, and we get a really good stretch here, okay? We don't necessarily have to get our shoulder blades back against the wall. It's more about getting this hip forward and feeling the stretch in the front. Now that's a very challenging one, so you'd start with your foot maybe, or with your knee, sorry, like a foot from the wall starting off. And what you can do then is, if that's way too hard, you can do it up next to a couch or next to a bench. We go here like this, foot up here, knee on the floor, same principles. The heel to your arse, push hips forward, get a really good stretch here. Again, you might have to start off a little bit further away, but that's alright as well. Just progress towards in a little closer. Look at the hip mobility. So we're set it up 90, 90, 90. Okay, 90 in the front knee, 90 in the middle, 90 in the back knee. From there we've got 3 corners. Okay, we'll go down to the front knee, push hip towards the floor, chest towards the front knee, relax, down the middle, relax, towards the back knee, relax, okay? So when we go here in the front, we should feel a stretch back at the back here, and when we go down the middle, you might feel it on either side. When we go to this side, you're probably going to feel it in here. Now, it's not uncommon for people to kind of be in this position when they first start this stretch, which is absolutely fine. Again, you're progressing to the point where you can sit upright, and we can get those knees fairly close to the floor, and get fairly deep into each of those 3 corners, okay? You do the same then on the other side, stopping over like this. So last one I'm going to show you is T-spine wall sides. This is going to work on the thoracic spine, which is this part of your spine here. A lot of people might kind of be in a hunch position like this, which will really limit them from squatting, because when we're squatting we want to have our chest up nice and tall. So with your wall sides, you're starting with your feet a good bit out from the wall, so that you're kind of pressing your body in against the wall, pressing the lower back against the wall, pressing the elbows and wrists against the wall, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. Okay, if you can get into this position with the lower back, elbows and wrists against the wall and get through full range of motion, generally you'll have enough range of motion at your thoracic spine and those shoulders as well. Alright guys, what's the crack? I'm here at home. Busy day today at the gym. I have a foam rolling section coming in a little while, but first of all I want to talk you through sleep. Sleep is the most important tool in terms of recovery. Do not ever underestimate it. Quality over quantity. Okay, so quality hours are better than the amount of hours. For the next couple of days I'm trying to prioritize my sleep to get an extra couple of hours for the couple of days leading up to the game. The day before the game I'll even try and stay in bed for 9-10 hours to really rest up, and trying to adapt some good sleep hygiene. So basically good sleep hygiene would be no caffeine late at night, not having a laptop in bed, not being on your phone in bed, having your bed for sleeping alone, having noise, having light and all that stuff kept out of your room. And I wear an eye mask from time to time, so I will wear an eye mask for the next couple of days to make sure I'm not waking up too early. And that's what sleep hygiene is. Sleep hygiene has been shown to be as effective, if not more effective, than any other kind of treatment to improve someone's sleep. So that's what I'm going to be doing, trying to prioritize that. Usually I could be getting anywhere between 4 and 8 hours sleep a night. Now I'm going to really try and prioritize getting at least 8 hours every single night. The next section is on foam rolling. Just to be aware, foam rolling is not something that I do. It's not something that I recommend people do. If you want to do it, spend 5-10 minutes doing it. If it's something that you really like doing, go do it. But again, only spend 5-10 minutes on it. So if you want to skip the next section, feel free to skip the next section. And if you are, I want to say slán. I want to say thank you for watching this much of the video. I will see you tomorrow. There's another video coming. Here comes the foam rolling. Peace. Foam rolling, I'll talk you through what I would advise someone to do if they were to do it. There's two different kind of modes of thinking. There's the mode of thinking where you go the full length of the muscle, and there's the mode of thinking where you find a tender spot and you sit in that tender spot. And it's usually a good idea to do this maybe after your warm up. Generally you'll start off with a few fast ones to get the muscle used to it, get the muscle warmed up, and then after that you can go a lot slower. And if you find a tender spot you can kind of slow down over that. With the calves you've got 3 lines. You go central line, outside, inside. So you normally start off with the central one, then you go outside, then you go inside. In terms of the hamstrings then, you can do something very similar, sitting out like this. I've never met anyone who has found a tender spot on their hamstrings with a foam roller unless they have a hamstring strain. And if you do have any kind of a muscle strain, you should not be foam rolling it, okay? Definitely do not foam roll an injured muscle unless it's gone through the healing process, and unless you're cleared by your physio. Do not foam roll an injured muscle. Quads then next. So the quads, we can take our 3 lines again. Central line right down the middle. We've got an outer line rolling over to the side slightly. And again, you can go full length of the muscle, or you can stop on one spot. And inside line, where you can actually have to come out to the side of the roller here like this. Inside line all the way up towards the hip. Okay, so sometimes even on the quad you can come right up to the hip, the insertion of the hip flexor here, and get a little bit of a roll on that. Sometimes that can be quite stiff. In terms of inside and outside the leg, you can do the grinds like this, and you can definitely foam roll the grind. You'll be getting shorter head as you go up to the top, longer head down towards the bottom. But so rolling your IT band here is not really appropriate, okay? It's made of fascia and it is more or less set at a set length, so it has a set length. You're not necessarily going to be able to lengthen that, okay? So by rolling up and down, this can be very uncomfortable. It's not necessarily going to do anything for you besides cause a lot of discomfort, which is going to excite your nervous system, release some endorphins because you're in a little bit of pain, and then because you're releasing endorphins, the pain kind of dissipates and you feel kind of, oh, you feel great, you know, you feel a bit lightheaded, and you know, it's not as bad, so you think you're after doing some good. So I would discourage the foam rolling of the outside of your leg. If you do want to try and loosen out here, go up closer to the top where the belly of the muscle is, so above the hip. You can kind of roll yourself backwards, roll yourself forwards, So if you're up near the top and you're on the tensor fasciae lata, which is the muscle that goes into the IT band, you'll be absolutely fine. But actually rolling the IT band itself is not the best idea. Glutes, you can do glutes as well if you like. Here like so. Or you can kind of go from the side where you roll the roller over this way and do the same thing. You'll hear a lot of people talk about the foam roller preventing injuries. I mean, that never happens. A foam roller is never going to prevent an injury. A foam roller is never going to reduce your risk of injury. In a lot of ways, the foam roller is acting similar to a deep tissue massage in that you're finding tender areas and you're causing a little bit of pain or discomfort in the tender areas. And by causing a bit of pain and discomfort, you're actually exciting your nervous system, and you're actually going to release endorphins, which will just help reduce that pain or discomfort. And by releasing those endorphins, you kind of feel a little better, helps you relax a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily do a lot for the actual muscles themselves. Again, there is some conflicting research with regard to the use of a foam roller. Some research says that it's a good thing and it can actually benefit. Other research says that it's actually a negative thing and it actually can hinder things like recovery. So I mean, I would take it with a pinch of salt, and I would also just decide for yourself, is it something you enjoy doing? Is it something that you think you get some benefit out of it? If it is, work away, but again, keep it to 5-10 minutes max. I hope this video has been helpful, and sorry about all the delay. To be honest, I have no idea how some people do this stuff, where they make videos on a daily basis and keep up to date on Instagram and Snapchat and everything. But I'm doing my very, very best to try and juggle everything. If you're on Snapchat, come find me on Snap Colm, so SNAP-Colm, and I do answer questions there on a daily basis. Now, I haven't snapped back today, but I'm going to do a big kind of snap series tomorrow. Snapchat is a little bit easier because it's really, really quick, whereas YouTube you kind of have to, you know, set up a camera, edit the footage, put it up on YouTube, and there's a whole loading process and editing process there. So again, thanks a million for watching this video. Another one coming tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Slán.